Is everybody ready for the great and powerful story?
Don't be shy, Jack.
So we were in Orlando, and we took a plane to Charlotte, somewhere over here. And then we took a 5-hour plane to New York. Then we took a 25-hour plane and we made a stop in Vancouver. And we kept on going and going. And then we arrived in Hong Kong. And then we took a cruise to Saigon, to Bangkok, to Singapore, to Bali. A lot more places, but we couldn't stick them all on there because it would look messy and stuff. And this is the Outward Bound. That's where I stepped on the plane. We were in business class, and it was their idea to take a picture with the people on the plane. And when we arrived in Hong Kong, that was the Star Ferry. And my grandpa used to be in the Navy, and 52 years ago, he went on the Star Ferry, so he wanted to go on the Star Ferry, Mount Victoria. And that's a Chinese junk boat. And so this is still the junk boat, what we saw on the junk boat. And this is something from the hotel. And this is the jumbo restaurant I went to. That's floating restaurant. And that's the floating restaurant 22 years ago that my grandpa went to.
50 years ago.
50 years ago. So many corrections.
That's why you needed them. Is that correct?
Yes. Oh, and so that's inside of the jumbo restaurant. Those are inside, and that's outside. And that's when I started on my cruise. And we're in Halong Bay, and that's the Kissing Rock. And that's the thing on the top of the boat. It's like a dragon eating my hand. And that's just what it looks like in Halong Bay. And they were selling fruit for money. And we didn't buy any fruit, but we gave them some money. And that was the captain's dinner. And I had jet lag, so I didn't make it through it all.
In your book, you said you fell asleep in one of the restaurants. Was it this one?
No, that one.
You have a habit of doing that.
No,
He goes all day and then.
we went to the Peking Duck restaurant, and that's the most famous place in Hong Kong. And I fell asleep there. I couldn't make it. I can't remember a thing there. And this is Saigon. That's French style. That's the Buddhist temple, and that's me in Saigon on the scooter. And that's a sugarcane milkshake. And that's the Buddhist monks. That's the XO scooter girls. That's a replica of the tank trash in the Reunification Palace. And the Reunification Palace is where South Vietnam and North Vietnam we're fighting. Reunification, whatever it's called. And that's Hanoi Yan. And Hoi An
Jack, let
is
me stop you. Let's see if anybody has any questions on those first two signs that you
Miles. What is that model? Where do you get the model of the boat?
Oh, we didn't get there yet.
No, we did because
There's a boat right there
In
and a
Vietnam.
boat right there.
That's
Oh, yeah.
we're not there yet.
But it was talking about.
I know, but we're not down there yet.
all right. Just those first two columns there.
These two.
I saw some hands go up as he was going over them. Did you?
Chia.
Like, how many hours did it take from where did you go to take?
I was from Orlando Airlines to Charlotte, then to New York, and then I took a 25-hour plane ride to Vancouver. I stopped there for about an hour, I think, or 10 minutes. And then we took another, and then we took the other half.
Is it actually a 25-hour trip, or is it the time changing?
No, it was
There's
25
2
hours,
days.
24 hours. But
2
he
days.
went from New
Because you
York.
lose a day.
Oh my.
We had to stop in Vancouver for a couple hours, and then we flew on from there. And I was going to have them show the Great Circle route, why they do that with the airlines, because the Earth is smaller. They don't have to travel as far on the Great Circle route. So that's why they go north, and then they come down. But it's still a long way. We've flown both ways from New York through Hamburg and then down to Singapore, and that was 19 hours. But this one's a little longer. It was either 23 or 25. I mean, after you get over 12, it's like.
That's right. What's the difference? What's 12 more hours?
Why do you fall asleep a lot? Because
That's
that
his
jet lag.
question.
Tell them what jet lag is.
It's when you go past the time change. So like when you guys were sleeping, just going to bed, I was just waking up.
Yeah.
So he was 12 hours
Like,
different.
it was nighttime for me and it was daytime. It was daytime for you, it was nighttime.
His brain was telling him he was still back here. So his brain was
My
telling
brain
him
had
to
to
go to
get
sleep,
used to it, and then when I did get used to it, it was time to leave.
to go back the other way.
And it was like miles.
How many hours did you go on total on the planes?
23 or 25.
2 days, really, but 1 day it's not really. You just lose it because of the time zone. So we were on over 1 day. We were on
So
different
it was
planes.
48 hours to Australia, and the
Yeah,
same
that's
thing
right,
happened to
that's
her.
right.
But she was on the other half of the world. And when the sun's on this side of the world, on the other half of the world, it's right.
That's right.
I remember
It's very close to Bali.
Bali and Australia are just right there, the same.
And this is
Okay, guys, he's going to go on
His
to the
name,
next
Hoyan.
call. Listen
Hoyan is
carefully.
one word for us, but it's it's two words for us and one word for them. And it's what word is Hoyan? The name Hoyan. And we bought 2 boats. That boat, which is like
It's a ship.
It's over there.
it's right there where my mom's trying to block it to be moved. and this boat
Jack bought that boat for himself, and then he got this one for
is the brother.
his brother.
And you flew that back, or how did you get that back?
In a
I
suitcase.
think we put it in our suitcase.
A lot
They
of bubble
folded
wrap.
it down when we bought it, and then I had to put it back together after we got here. We had one shipped by post office.
Oh my god, that's
The previous trip cost me $50 to ship the boat,
and it's just like
and we had only paid like, I don't know, 70 or 25
That's
or whatever. And it didn't get here for like 4 months, 3 or 4 months, and I thought it was gone. I told him, I said, it's gone, we'll never get it. All of a sudden, the mail lady came with it. We didn't want to do that.
that was my journey.
Yeah, they can look at that after. and
Yeah.
See
Yeah.
That's my trip.
It took
my
so
train.
many things I could have.
There wasn't that much to do there, but we had a really fun time at the beach. And my brother had the same picture there. I did too. That was called Singaweeby, Thailand. And that was the long-tail boat with the car engine.
Why do they call long-tail boat?
Because there's a car engine and it's a long.
Propeller is it's like a tail.
And that's Cambodia. That's a tuk-tuk that we took.
What's a tuk-tuk? You know what a tuk-tuk is?
You know what a tuk-tuk is?
Yeah.
Not everyone does.
A
What is
tuk-tuk's like where someone would be on a scooter or a bike in the front, and you would sit down in the back. There's like a little carriage in the back, and you would sit on it, and then they would pedal you or just ride the horse like where you want to go.
Oh, I know that.
Show them the ones that
I've
they
been
tap
on
in.
one
Yeah,
before.
where the
That's called
Oh, bicycle
petty
cab.
because the guy is pedaling.
I think I've been on. I think I've been on one of them.
We're
on
not
vacation somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe down the Keys, they have one.
Well,
West?
we didn't go to the Keys, but we went somewhere else. But I can't remember where it was. But I think I went. I think I remembered that.
To the bomb.
On that. How much did that boat cost?
70?
$70.
And American money?
Yeah.
How much money was it in?
$2
Dawn,
million or something.
about 3 million.
Their
Yeah.
money goes high.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been on one of those because
Remember, guys, we're asking questions. We're not telling you about what we've experienced. We can discuss that later.
How long did you ride on that?
Okay,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
He's rude. He's very
He wasn't.
If there's $20 there, how much?
Yeah.
We have some of their
What's the
money.
conversion? How much is a dollar here
For a dog?
to a dong?
Dong,
Yeah, what's a dollar here is how many dong?
Oh, I don't know.
3 million something. It's crazy money.
His trade.
Nope, they take all U.S. money because it's just too crazy over there.
How do you have $5?
Guys, we're looking, not touching.
I want to see that. I want to have one. I want to
Well, they leave it out there at the end.
Why can't they just take it from the government? It would be much easier. Hey, Jack, I see why you have to go there. What's that elephant ride?
I want to see your shirt.
Damn, throw this phone out of here.
That's what Grandpa. Last time Grandma did the elephant with him, but this time I tried my back hurt, so
You can't see me.
It must be a bumpy, is it a very bumpy ride?
it is.
Okay.
It is. We just doing this. You think they're gentle, but
Like this.
Okay, Jack, let's go back to your board.
okay, Jack, just leave the money there. They can look at it after this week.
Late.
And real emeralds and stuff. None of it's fake. It's all real. And this is Bangkok, China, Royal Telescope. That's all real gold. That's all real gold. And those people do not move an inch. And I tried to do it, and I did it for 5 minutes. Bangkok, China, Royal Telescope. Wait, they don't really move? Yeah, they barely move.
Raise your-
We're supposed to do that.
Do they blink?
Yeah.
They're real people.
And that's all gold too, and it's a lot bigger when you take it in person after the cut. And that's the goddess of land. That's the goddess of sea.
I didn't get to see it, the goddess of sea, because I couldn't see it because your grandfather.
Zot.
No,
Zot.
not like that. Check.
That's the goddess of the land. That's the goddess of the sea. That's the monkey warriors. That's the ogres, dragons, and stuff.
And what about the dragon, the 5-headed dragon?
The water. That's the water, goddess of the water. No. No,
That's a Buddhist religion.
yes.
What do you mean by the people just move in inch?
Like they're not supposed to move. Like they're not supposed to move.
The
And like
guards.
they have this thing like they go, and then they walk to the other guard and they switch spots and they do all this stuff with their guns and everything.
When you said there was lions everywhere, do you mean like real life lions or just statues? They're nice guys.
You're just on.
That's the emerald.
You skipped a few things.
You
skipped the meditation.
Famous one there is.
You skipped meditating. You skipped the meditating part.
Oh, that's we're in Waco now.
What? Oh,
That's
Johnson.
all the meditating people. And most one is this one. No, the other one was. It's made of just like metal. You showed us the back of it.
Emerald.
FG.
I didn't see the
That's
color.
what they
Oh
call
my
it.
god.
It's the same thing. It seems so evil. I wish I wish I was you, Jack. I wish I would had most everybody. I wish I had my phone.
When you go to the temple, what do you
I
have
want
to
a
do?
picture of that.
You have to take off your shoes. You can't wear a hat.
Have your legs covered? And the
Oh, yeah,
girls
you have to have your
on
legs
shoulders.
covered, and you're not allowed to have your shoulders covered. You have to have your shoulders covered.
Very hot.
And that's 230 meter flying Buddha. That's the J Buddha, which is the shortest, the most famous of all.